I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Akakwadash, and the double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone for pushing this truth. I was at lunch break yesterday. I haven't been able to find it. And yeah, it just keeps popping up the same things. It's be careful, be circumspect. Two white vans. It's unconfirmed by Google, but everybody out Cleveland knew what was going on. Two white vans took about 19 people yesterday out Euclid at the Amazon, out Euclid around the Amazon. From what I was told, it was actual Amazon employees, both men and women. So that's the word on the streets out here at the job. Now, this is what I clicked on for. We'll start with this one.
People are talking about. One viewer reports that the Tyson chicken nugget recall should be expanded, as there were other incidents of non-recalled chicken nuggets all out there. We got that report coming up. We also have reports about shortages popping up at schools, stores, and restaurants. Lots of reports coming.
Schools, stores, restaurants.
Most beef animals, when they are harvested, are dying of organ failure, particularly their livers. They pump gases into the packaging. If your packaged meat looks bright red, then it is filled with artificial gases to create that. Like, no one knows that.
Holy moly.
It would be pathologically dangerous. Dead soil, dead plants, and about to be dead people.
David and I got married, and we were told.
If you think that that this place is great, or that you might want to stay here and see this place continue, you have no idea what's going on as far as business as usual. Countries reject food that are sold to Americans. Wow. I didn't see that coming. Starving nations reject U.S. food donation. The impact has been the forceful rejection by European countries of American genetically modified food exports. You can't make this up. Right? The United States, whose farmers are feeling the impact from a ban on genetically modified food by the European Union, is working on a claim filed with the World Trade Organization, calling the EU's actions a form of illegal protectionism. How is it illegal to protect yourself? Protectionism, economic policy of restraining trade between somebody trying to kill you. Protectionism, sometimes referred to as trade protectionism, is the economic policy of restricting imports from other countries through methods such as tariffs on imported goods, sound like what America be doing, imported quotas, and a variety of other government regulations, like making sure that something is safe for consumption. Proponents argue that protectionist policies shield the producers, businesses, and workers of the import competing sector in the country from foreign competitors. Was Try not to cough. So, I see the high-profile political fight with Europe comes even as some Europeans saying they have no evidence that genetically modified GM foods are in any way harmful. EU scientists acknowledge that after dozens of studies that show no ill effects from engineered foods, the rejection is not science-based, but the result of paranoia following outbreaks like mad cow and foot and mouth disease. That just sounds foot and mouth disease. And the thing about this is 20 years ago. So it makes sense when you hear the Apostle Ricard speak of GMO babies. Now, one thing that I've seen from this video that I'll say briefly is that the chemicals that are used are poisonous. You know, they kill. Or they're used to preserve the dead, if that makes sense. To preserve the dead, make it last longer. Well, we're not dead, so we're eating stuff that is, come on now. Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. Whose wrath? Babylon the Great, America's. And the time of the dead. What dead? Spiritually dead. Right, let's get it. Because when you go out of when you have no understanding, you're in the congregation of the spiritual dead. The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 16. The man or woman that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right? And it's a valley of dry bones. And the valley is filled with the congregation of the dead. Right? And these are the sons and daughters of the spirits, the family, which are the men, and the women and children come from the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? 12 tribes of Israel. Revelation 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, and servants that blow in a trumpet, right? Whether people here forbear, whether people want to see what's going on in the news or not, all right? No, I'm not going to get that scripture, Salaki. Whether people want to see what's in the news or not, all right? The servants of the prophets, and to the saints and them that fear thy name. The saints are, and excuse me, Shalaki. In the Bible, the saints are Israelites. But see, what the Jewish people don't want the world to know or to even think about is that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was alive over 2,000 years ago. And I'm just going to say 2,000 just to make it feel relevant in our time, because we can't even fathom 2,000 years of history. So over 2,000 years ago, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know, all the Arabs and everybody be like, they the children of Abraham. So it ain't long enough to where everybody on the earth can't think of who their forefather was. Now, it's been thousands of years of sex, thousands of years of marriage, thousands of years of slavery. So you don't know who the Israelites are, who the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is, according to the Bible, through just looking at them. You don't know who the children of Abraham and Ishmael is and the princes of Ishmael just from looking at them. The princes that came out of Ishmael just from looking at them. But the descendants of those children of Ishmael, they know their father is Abraham. Does it make sense? All right. So the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are out here, just like the children of Abraham and Ishmael are out here, just like the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau are out here, and just like the Elamites and the other children of Abraham are out here. Abraham fathered many nations. That's why all of them keep talking about. That's why in Baltimore I used to when I first started thinking about this children of Abraham stuff, I would go to the gas stations of the foreigners out Baltimore, and I would be like, you a child of Abraham. I'm a child of Abraham too. And then they'd be like, yeah, man. They didn't look at me like I was crazy. They didn't look at it like they was playing it off or none of that. My ride would be here for work. I get rides now. Y'all busting me outside gave me an attractive chauffeur. Now, Psalms 148 verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord. All right, so the horn of his people are the prophets. All right. We have no king at this time. We have no continuing city at this time. The horn of the Israelites, the horn of the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, according to the Bible, are the prophets. Now you just had the white lady, I think her name is Julie, right? Daughter of Amalek. She went to New York last week and said that the number one threat to the Jewish nation is black people. Let's see. Let's Google this. Let's see. The number one threat to Jewish people are the young black African American community. Nah, it didn't. This is interesting. Gettysburg College. The complex relationship between Jews and African Americans in the context of the civil rights movement.
Very quickly that we probably would not be able to have children. Because I had other health issues just aside from that I've struggled with.
I opened it up and it's not red. Why isn't it red? And the reason is because the only way to keep it red is they pump gases into the packaging that artificially create a red color.
Revelation chapter 11 verse 18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou should give reward, thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants. What's the reward? Salvation. Food to eat. Not one hair that head. If you got any hair on your head, not one hair your head perishing. And then after salvation you get a new head with good hair. No more aches, a new body. The law will be written in the inward heart. Never go off. Be under the new covenant. Unthinkable grace and mercy as far as existing goes. Made me think of that scripture. Words cannot basically compare to what the things that my Father has in store for you. So it's a reward unto the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, right? Salvation, and them that fear thy name. Salvation, Yahweh, fear the name Yahweh, right? Call Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Therefore you fear the name Yahweh Shai, because he's the one that said that those that do not wish that I reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me with the sword, right? Why? Because then you're not willing to do the will of the Father. All right? Fear thy name, small and great. They receive a reward. Salvation, new bodies, beautiful, everything. Inward, outward, head to toe. And I was thinking, I was like, because Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is giving me a lively woman, right? Like, so lively. Every time she be riding around in the car, we'll be in there having a conversation. She got a little music demon. And and the song will be playing. It don't matter if it's an old school song or a new school song, and she'll and just bust out of nowhere. That ain't how she sound, but that's how she just bust out of nowhere in the conversation. And it made me think of the scripture. Exodus chapter 1. They've always had an agenda to kill young boys of our nation. Right? Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. And the king of Egypt, is in his modern day Egypt, spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. Now, if you look all through, I just noticed yesterday it's a Hebrew academy out by South Beach, next to South Beach High School. I was like, what the hell is going on? Hebrew Academy in Cleveland, Hebrew Academy all over the place, but don't nobody get to know nothing about the. And I thought all nations are supposed to come and learn the ways of, but nobody's teaching nobody nothing about it. It's just they big secret. They big keep the money to themselves, and the well, it ain't pearls cast to swine, so it would be like dung. Yeah, they just keep they poop to themselves, because it's not the truth anyway. Hebrews chapter 1 verse, not Hebrews. Exodus chapter 1 verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Right? So you women, you're not being kept alive to enjoy the finer things in life. Right? You're being kept alive to be touched on, ravished, and to serve. Physically and orally. And you don't get to run your mouth when you do it neither. Verse 17, but the midwives feared Yahweh. So the Egyptians feared Yahweh. Right? He manifests his power into all just by everyday life existing. Right? But he puts it on different people's spirit to acknowledge, or whether they acknowledge the glorious power and have sense enough to know to have some sort of degree of fear. Right? But these midwives feared Yahweh and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them. So you know they feared God, feared the Lord. The Egyptians had their own God. They didn't fear their gods. All right? If I'm a king of Egypt, and I got God, we got a bunch of made-up guys, I'm still the king of you. Like, what? the gods say, obey me, I'm the king. So obviously it was another power that these women feared more than the make-believe powers of Egypt at the time, the so-called gods of Egypt. They used to be on the damn History Channel all the time, like it's real history. Might as well put Pinocchio on the History Channel and not Zeus, Dr. Seuss books on the History Channel. All right. Verse 17, Exodus 1:17. But the midwives feared Yahweh and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. Right? Why? Because they knew if it was no men, the whole nation would be gone. And this is why they kept the men alive. Regardless of what they spoke about the women, this is why they kept the men alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Right, so our women are lively, right? Verse 20, therefore Yahweh dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very, very mighty. And I'm going to read 21 for all you other heathens out there, and for Esau, Edom, to realize how much of a dumbass he is, how he going to die. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared Yahweh, that he made them houses. Esau, you don't fear Yahweh. Right? Esau doesn't fear Yahweh. All right, so Yahweh Shem outside is going to destroy them that destroy the earth. There's no fear of Yahweh. Damn, this was for that other video. Salagia. Yeah, this was for the food. Job chapter 4, verse 17. Shall mortal man be more just than Yahweh? The king of Egypt wasn't. He was out of control. All right, and so are these food manufacturers. All right, so is the way America is. Babylon the Great, and God we trust. Only country to put God in their slogan. The only so-called nation of modern era to publicly emphasize trusting in God and everything. They so help me God and your oaths, and put your hands on sacred scriptures. And I'm talking about the whole, not just the president, lawyers, judges. Job chapter 4, verse 17. Shall mortal man be more just than Yahweh? No, man. So everything they think that they're doing with the food is just off. Everything they think they're doing with the women having children and the whole process of how they target and gene splicing and not gene splicing, but what you call it, giving shots that specifically target genes, specifically target races, however they said it. They've been promoting that these past 3 years, how they could engineer weapons to target certain races. That's their words. So no. Job chapter 4, verse 17. Mortal man will not be more just than Yahweh, or more pure than the Maker. So I don't understand what's going on with this food. Why this isn't public knowledge. Job chapter 4, verse 17. Shall mortal man be more just than Yahweh? Shall a man be more pure than his maker? Let's prove that the answer is no.
So the meat naturally is never that red. When you cut it and it's first exposed to oxygen momentarily, it will it'll redden up just a little bit, and then it'll instantly start to brown out unless you pump gases into the packaging for about 10 minutes and artificially create this like red color. We get that question. It's like they're like, your meat's not fresh.
On noticing him pausing this video, it makes me think of how the Agent Army Yahushua dude, they paused the video because they want to get the facts straight. They want to get the statement straight. Now I appreciate him pausing the video because you're make the screen a little brighter. I appreciate them pausing the video because don't be messing up on no facts about something that's real and valuable and informative. But the other dude can't even speak his mind for 1-2 seconds without pausing and starting over and pausing and starting over like it was a rushed speech. A rushed speech that he had to hurry up and make. Would have been too much for him to remember and too fake to pull from his heart.
Actually, it's way fresher. Our meat is brown because 5 minutes later it turns to that brown color that you flash freeze it. So you're like eating meat that's like that long, 5 minutes old, versus that red fresh meat in the grocery store might be a month old and it's sat like that, but they're using artificial gases in that packaging to create a color that's completely unnatural.
Does that make sense? Because when we don't buy the frozen meat and it's just sitting and out in the grocery store, it looks healthy, it looks good. But that's because of the chemicals that's been pushed into it. With the frozen meat, yeah, okay, it looks healthy, it looks good, but not really because it's packaged up and you can't see the color. It's usually packaged and wrapped to where you can't see the color. And then you take the chicken home, you take the meat home, then you freeze it. Right? It's usually, the meat is usually never really frozen at the grocery store for the majority of the meat. But this farmer is saying that he flash freezes it and doesn't add the gases to it. And the gases that are added to it are unbelievable. Let's listen.
Yeah, so that's kind of an intriguing thing.
So how would you know is there anything on the package that's
Oh no, they don't have to declare it. If your packaged meat looks bright red, then it is filled with artificial gases to make it. It doesn't look like that. But like no one knows that.
Looks bright red and juicy, but this piece of meat is not safe to eat. Believe it or not, it's been sitting out for 11 days. So how could it still look so fresh?
This not talking about a grocery store, in the grocery store for 11 days. They took it home and it's been sitting out for 11 days.
It's been sitting out for 11 days. So how could it still look so fresh? It's because it's being packed and gassed in a special process that most people never heard about, using carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen, which keeps the meat look.
Come on now. I spoke too much on different subjects. I don't want to make this too long because I actually want to get scriptures. But I'm sure if we Google what this does to our body, it won't say it refreshes us like a glass of water.
That most people never heard about, using carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen, which bright red. We left 2 cuts of lamb out at room temperature.
So do we see why cancer is such a high rate? You see why Subway says eat fresh in their slogan? Do you see why there's halal food all over the place? This place is out of control. Job chapter 4 verse 17. Shall mortal man be more just than Yahweh? Nah, because the Lord wouldn't give us this to eat. Shall a man be more pure than his maker? Nah, no, obviously not. Isaiah chapter 24 verse 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down. Right? Inhabited lands are now desolate. Lustful lands are now destroyed, are made waste. Right? Everything is turned upside down. The ordinances are turned upside down. Isaiah chapter 24 verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Right? Esau, Edom, Babylon the Great, because they have transgressed the laws. The laws are everything. Time jump forward, time jump back. Change the ordinances. Right? The topsoil is ruined for feet. Right? They got to use chemicals to keep it going. Broken the everlasting covenant. Right? Isaiah. Verse 2. No, finish 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Right? And it's going to be even worse now. It's going to be even worse now. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken his word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Right? And times is going to get worse, change worse and worse. Right? The earth is spoiled. The land is spoiled.
One was gas packed, the other no gas. After a few days, the untreated meat turns a dark, unappealing color. But the gas packed meat stays red, even after being left out for 8 days. The only visible sign of
That's witchcraft.
spoilage is the packaged puff meat packed, the other no gas. After a few days, the untreated meat turns a dark,
This is sorcery.
appealing color. But the gas-packed meat stays red, even after being left out for 8 days. The only visible sign of spoilage is the package puffing out and a bad odor unopened. We had the meat analyzed in a lab, and it's no surprise that both cuts are loaded with bacteria. The color of the meat doesn't necessarily indicate it's fresh.
And the sad part about it is that we just born into this, so it's a lot of things that we don't give thought that will make common sense. Like I'm not even gonna get into it.
They pump that gas in the case to hold that stuff back.
Holy moly.
Yep.
Because even like we were talking about your eggs earlier,
that's, at the end of the day, that's what the commodity industry is trying to figure out, is just how can we make this last as long as possible on the shelf, which typically means how can we kill this thing or pump it full of artificial things, because things that are like things that have life, when they die, they decompose, and so that's actually what's supposed to happen, and so their goal is to how to.
See, Esau gotta go. Esau gotta go. Esau gotta go. Yeah, Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. And see, all nations have drunken of the wine. There's people that say, oh, well, I wouldn't eat it, but if I had a store, I would still put it in my store. It's still business people gotta eat. That's being drunk off the wine. It should be boycotted, protested. 350,000 people should be, instead of a big Palestine flag, it should be a big chicken flag. 350,000 big cow flags, chicken flags, egg flags. What other flags need? Soil flags, tree flags, water flags, air flags, it should be a whole bunch of flags. How they gonna paint the White House? Paint the White House fence. 350,000 people storming D.C. having to piss and fart and hot breath and take a poop and eat and drink and charge their phone. And they all angry about something else. Before the pissing and pooping and hungry and thirsty and tired of walking and kicks in. Some strong wine out here. Habakkuk 2 verse 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. He can't sit his ass at home. He gotta go around the world stealing stuff, raping the goats, the animals, the people, the women. If Kanye would have never said nothing about that goat, I really feel bad for him, man. But the goat, it just, nah, man. Don't mess with the Zohan, man. Leave them goats alone. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as the grave, as hell, and is as death, right? Everything about him will kill you because he is as death. Everything about him will poison you because he is as death and cannot be satisfied. Right? I don't care how many cows on the earth, chickens on the earth, people on the earth, how much land on the earth, he can't be satisfied. He has to destroy it, and he has to want more and more. Right? But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So who is this speaking of? Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. Who fits this? Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. Revelation said all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of Babylon the Great. He is a proud man. He is proud. God resisteth the proud, but give grace to the humble. That's why Esau, Edom is receiving no grace. It's not a good day to be Edomite. Neither keepeth at home. Who the hell is all over the world? What nation, what country, what race is all over the goddamn world? Can't mind their own goddamn business and just pop their women and have their own little country thing going on. Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. See, Esau, Edom, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, and then serves him food like this.
Take things and like strip all the life out of it, or add artificial things in that prevent that decomposition, which isn't all that great when you then subsequently eat it, right? Because then you're filling yourself with things that are supposed to prevent decomposition. You are a living organism that doesn't need that. Infamously, now this is not any, it's been done away with, but there was a time when they put formaldehyde in milk because formaldehyde is involved in aging. It's what they put in bodies.
And they smoked that. they smoked that out here, but I was shit. It was Love Boat back in when I was coming up in the '90s out DC. Then it got switched to the water where they dipped it and dipped a cigarette in it. The boat they used to sprinkle it on Parsley flakes and put it in a wrapped it was packaged beautifully. It just cost. I'm wondering how the hell do you anyway. It was packaged and you got to keep it in the freezer, and it was in parsley flakes, and then people would take it out and they would sprinkle it on their weed and be smoking it all out the D.C., Virginia, Maryland area, and then it got switched to the water like right around 99, 2000. And then it got switched to the water. I mean, the nickname became water. Everybody started smoking the water, PCP, or whatever. But Master P used to rap, "Nigga going off the water," and I never knew what he was talking about. But even it was Love Boat back then, out DC, when Master P was rapping about niggas going off the water, and then the water came around there. So they drugging us to death, man. And now they legalizing it all and giving out Narcan and all types of other stuff, man.
It does make the shelf life of milk tremendously long.
So why don't you pasteurize your milk? Because that is the newer thing to do to keep the shelf life.
Yeah. Pasteurization keeps the shelf life long. One of the reasons we don't, and the main one is like the milk, as long as it's produced in a clean environment and the cows are eating grass, the pH of their bloodstream is completely different, and the quality of the milk is different, and that milk is actually biologically active, and it has the enzymes in it that allow your body to digest it, and so you get way more out of it. However, from the confinement dairy standpoint of things, those animals don't get any grass. They're eating grain and all kinds of other mixes. It changes the pH in the cow, and it actually dramatically increases the bacteria levels in the milk, and then you get some really nasty stuff in there. And so their solution was...
So lactose intolerant is really what? A rejection to the bacteria. It makes me think of how, like, if I eat shrimp, crabs, or lobster, I just throw it up. No bumps, no bruises. Just throw it. It just tastes like throw up to me. So it's like the effect that it has on me. So with the lactose, the bacteria in it, it's the effect that they have in them because of what the pH balance, that's acidity or alkaline. So the same way if we could have our body, yeah, we're eating, okay. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has it set up to where they chew the cud, they'll be alkaline. But if they don't chew the cud, they'll be acidic unto us.
Because as long as we boil it, we kill everything, and then it's fine. Well, there's some real downsides to that, like it's inert, it's dead, your body doesn't have a way to digest it, and so you're killing all the good things in it. They have to, because if you just drink that raw, then it's pathologically dangerous. But our animals eating grass, their body's pH is different. They don't have those bacterial strains. In fact, what they have is cultured bacteria. It's good, like what you have in yogurt and things. So it's actually great for you. And so that's the reason that we don't. Though interestingly enough, with milk going bad or preserving shelf life, our milk has a much longer shelf life than pasteurized milk.
So you have good bacteria, bad bacteria. Like in our mouth, we have medically though, well, in school I went to, whatever they call it, amylase. Now, what it does is, if you put some food in your mouth, I ain't talking about like a big amount of food where you gotta chew. If you put a Lay's chip in your mouth, just throw something out there. If you put a chip in your mouth, it doesn't when I'm using the word dissolve, the correct word I should be using is the good bacteria, whatever bacteria in our mouth, the good bacteria, it breaks it down. All right, the amylase breaks it down without us even chewing it. That's why it make it softer and softer and softer. Now you could, then that made me want to do a test. Yeah, but it wouldn't break it down. It would just make it soggy. Like if you just run a chip underwater, dip a chip in water, it'll make it soggy, but it won't break it down. Like if you just have it sitting in your mouth.
Because our milk does not actually sour. Conventional milk, when you pop the lid and you hit it, you're like, oh, when it's bad, it is bad pasteurized milk. And the reason is because of what finally grew back in there are really nasty bacteria, and it makes an awful smell, and it's killing your body from greatness. Our milk actually just becomes kefir. Yeah, it becomes kefir. It just ages. So it starts going through a fermentation process, and so it's just turning into, first it goes to milk, and then it's going into kefir, and then more yogurt form, and then eventually a cheese form. So all the way along, we have people reach out and say, hey, how long is it good for? And it's like, well, actually, eventually it'll turn into cheese, but it's not going to go bad, right? As long as you keep it at the right temperature. So our milk actually.
You see the difference between what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is giving us in comparison to what Esau is giving us? Esau is his death, right? What was that, Job 4:17? Esau is his death. Job 4:17. The book of Job, chapter 4, verse 17, called on me, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bashim Akakwadash. Bad, it's bad with numbers for me. Unless I'm doing quick math in my head, like with decimals or just number math and stuff like that. Job chapter 4, verse 17, shall mortal man be more just than Yahweh? No, it shall not. All right? You should leave the milk alone, and so we can keep it and nigga turn cheese if we want. Damn, man. Shall a man be more pure than his maker? Obviously not. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai give you milk, you could, it's like, what's his name with the peanut butter, with the peanut, Ben Carver or whatever. Right, shall a man be more pure than his maker? No. Esau gotta go. Esau gotta go.
But it's just going to be in that fermentation process as it ages.
And then with cows, people have this fear that cows are taking a lot of water. They use 10 bathtubs full of water. Their cow burps, their cow farts, carbon that's put into the air.
He is his death, man. He wants to kill a cow for farting and burping. You can watch the rest of this on your own time. It's not something you're gonna watch all the way through. Once you get halfway through, especially if the Lord is ministering to you with scriptures and stuff, but you're not gonna hear this in school. Shalom.